Okay, picture this. You're designing a new car, but instead of using clay and sketches, you're literally shaping it out of thin air, right in your office. Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, today we're going to look at a company called ARTESEROSTEK. They're using smart glasses to make that exact vision a reality for their creative teams. So let's dive in and see how they're pulling it off.
I mean, just think about it for a second. What if, instead of waiting weeks or even months for a physical model, you could just, poof, conjure it up right in your office? You could change its color, test its size, and share it with your team halfway across the globe, all with a simple voice command. This isn't some far-off dream, it's the future we're exploring right now.
So to really get why this is such a game changer, we've got to look at the problem it's trying to solve. And that problem is what's known as the creative bottleneck. You see, for decades, the whole process of turning a great idea into an actual physical thing has been, well, frustratingly slow and super expensive. Okay, so let's break this down. The old way of doing things, it's basically a waiting game. You're talking weeks, maybe even months for physical model. And the costs? Super high, because you're paying for materials and manufacturing. And if you spot something you want to change, you're often right back at square one. But with augmented reality, the whole process gets completely flipped on its head. Prototypes, they're instantaneous. Costs, way down, because it's all digital. And collaboration, it can happen in real time with anyone, anywhere in the world. This isn't just a small step up, it's a total paradigm shift.
All right, so faced with this massive bottleneck, ARTESEROSTEK came up with a really ambitious solution. They imagined a totally new kind of digital workspace, and they call it the virtual factory. So what exactly is this virtual creative factory, or VCF for short? Look, this is not just another Zoom call or video conferencing tool. No way. It's a fully immersive environment. It brings together VR, AI, and cloud computing to let all the creative pros, we're talking designers, artists, engineers, work together in real time. It's like they're all in the same room, even when they're on opposite sides of the planet.
And you know what the key to all this is? It's the RayBan Meta AI glasses. Now, these aren't your typical VR goggles that try to make you escape the real world. Not at all. Their whole purpose is to seamlessly blend digital information into your real world. They are, quite literally, the bridge that connects a designer's physical desk to this limitless digital workspace. Okay, so that's the big picture. But how does this all actually work in practice, in a day-to-day workflow? Let's break down what it really looks like to design something inside this virtual creative factory.
It's actually a pretty simple four-step process. First up, a designer can see a digital prototype right there on their desk using an AR overlay. Step two, they can instantly mess with the variables. What's it look like in blue? How about brushed aluminum? And they see it all under the real lighting in their office. Third, they can check the form and fit, making sure the size and shape are perfect. And finally, and this is the cool part, with just a voice command, they can share that interactive model with the whole team for instant feedback. And the benefits of this? They're huge. First off, you basically eliminate the need for those slow, expensive physical models. Designers can make smart adjustments on the fly, pulling up specs or client feedback just by asking for it. And maybe the most important thing is that it keeps them in that creative flow state. That focus that gets so easily shattered when you have to keep stopping and switching back to a computer screen. But it's not just about what one designer can do. This thing completely changes the game for teamwork. Your team members can jump into meetings from anywhere, totally hands-free. They can see shared models and notes right in their field of view, on a heads-up display. And that just encourages those quick, spontaneous chats, the kind where the best ideas always seem to pop up. The bottom line? Faster, smarter decisions for everyone involved. Now, of course, rolling out tech this futuristic is never going to be a simple plug-and-play situation. I mean, let's be real, ARTESEROSTEK definitely hit some major bumps in the road while building their virtual factory. The challenges really came from two directions, human and technical. On the human side, you had some designers who just had a tough time letting go of their trusty mouse and keyboard for these new voice and gesture controls. And then, of course, there were real privacy concerns, like what are these glasses actually recording? On the tech side, the early hardware wasn't perfect. It had its limitations. And just getting the system to play nice with all their existing design software, yeah, that was a huge job. But here's the thing, ARTESEROSTEK tackled each of these challenges head-on, and pretty methodically too. For the users, they offered dedicated training sessions to help smooth out that transition. For the privacy stuff, they put strict data encryption policies in place. The hardware got better and better with constant updates, and to get all the software working together, they developed custom AI commands.
It's a great reminder that having cool tech is one thing, but how you actually implement it is just as important. So, the system is up and running now. What's next? Well, ARTESEROSTEK isn't just sitting back. They're already planning the next evolution of their virtual creative factory, and they're aiming for a future that's even more immersive. And this timeline is really fascinating when you look at it. Right now, today, the system is reactive. You ask for something, it gives it to you. Simple. But tomorrow, it's going to be proactive. The AI will start offering up predictive design suggestions. It might even use emotion recognition to get a sense of the team's mood during a brainstorm. And way out in the future, they're talking about integrating haptic feedback, so you can actually feel the texture and the weight of a virtual object. How wild is that? When you boil it all down, this is the ultimate goal. They want to create an environment where that line between physical and digital tools just disappears, where everything blends together so seamlessly that teams can innovate faster and with more precision than we ever thought was possible.
And that really leaves us with one final big thought to chew on. For centuries, right, the greatest innovations have come out of factories, workshops, and labs. But as this kind of technology keeps evolving, you really have to wonder, is the next world-changing product going to be built in a physical factory? Or is it going to be dreamed up, designed, and perfected entirely inside a pair of glasses?